Do you remember when I said interview was a sales process? Ask the most successful sales professionals in the world like Daniel Milstein, Zig Ziglar or Stefan Schiffman, whom bestseller books on sales have trained hundreds and thousands of best salesmen in the world about what closes a sales deal. They all will tell you the same thing, that no matter how well you presented yourself, the product, the pricing, still no sale goes through without that one important thing called follow-up. In fact, follow-up and the way it is done separates the professionals from the amateurs. The biggest mistake done by an average candidate is to think that employer must be too busy and must not be bothered, and they never follow up. Absolutely wrong. In fact, some companies intentionally wait for the candidates to follow up and observe the number of times a candidate has followed up and the ways it was done, as observed in Alison Doyle's Job Search Guidebook, the biggest ever bestseller interview book. Follow-up serves the purpose of establishing a serious business relationship between the candidate and the recruiter, which reassures the recruiter that the candidate is genuinely interested in the job, and the way he has conducted during the entire interview process, including the last part, that is the follow-up, he has proven himself to be the most deserving candidate as well. Additionally, it also serves a long-term purpose of strongly placing you as one deserving candidate in a recruiter's memory for any future opportunities in case you didn't get this one. After all, a recruiter can't remember all the candidates he met, but only the most impressive or the deserving ones, and you surely wish to be a part of that list. But follow-up can mess up the entire hard work, and you may end up annoying the recruiter if it's not done the right way. So I am telling you 4 simple non-annoying steps to follow up professionally. Request a business card. At the end of your interview meeting, don't forget to request for a business card of the person who interviewed you. Now you have all the information about the interviewer, and he would love when you would address him by his correct name, designation, etc. Inquire about the next steps. Now, how would you plan your follow-up strategy if you don't know what would happen next? So take the initiative and ask the recruiter about the next steps so that you can prepare accordingly. Send a thank you note immediately. The moment you are out from the recruiting company's office, the first thing on your mind should be to email a thank you note. So then whatever recruiter opens his mailbox, he finds your thank you note. You can also carry a thank you note and leave it at the reception in a nice envelope addressed to the recruiter. Determine what you are going to say or write. Now, depending on which medium you would be using, the first thing is to determine what you would want to tell him. The idea of follow-up is to close the deal, so it should start with a thank you and include the following. Express your continued deep interest in the company and the job. Summarize all the good reasons for why you should be hired. Explain how decision of hiring you can convert into the big return on investment for the company. Next comes the medium, so choose the medium carefully and make the move. A recent survey by Accountants, as mentioned in again Alison Doyle's About.com Job Search Guide, the way recruiters want to be followed up is by email 87%, phone call 81%, handwritten note 38%, social media 27%, and text messages 10%. So first thing to be noticed is that people prefer a personalized phone call a lot. Moreover, if you are a pro and know your intent as well as content, there is no reason for not making that phone call. Next best choice would be email. Although email gets 87% acceptance, still I would insist on making it a second choice because it may not get read if the recruiter is traveling, may get lost in the server and not turn up in the mailbox, may reach spam or any other technical failure. Moreover, when you talk in person, the memory of the entire conversation during interview comes alive, and recruiter can picture you or visualize you as a candidate who impressed him. I would further like to avoid social media or text message, as sales never closes on these two, because social media sounds less personalized and text message seems more like being obliged to follow up. It's more like simply inquiring, do you plan to hire me or should I keep looking out? Now, while you are planning to make that follow-up call, Just remember the way we prepared for the telephonic interview. Same rules apply. Be at a calm place, keep your stuff ready, practice, be prepared, and finally go a step ahead by asking when can you expect the decision to be made. And do not forget to smile all the way, as it makes you sound calm and confident. And remember, call after at least 4 to 5 days after the interview. Repeat follow-up process once in 7 days until either they hire you or someone else. If the recruiter says in the first call, I will call you back, then either wait for his call or do it by mail, as the recruiter might not be comfortable in phone calls. Now what are you waiting for? Send a thank you note to the recruiter if you have not done that already. Good luck.